Okay, I'll take that as a yes.
Yep.
So welcome friends to another game of Skyfall 5th edition. I'm joined here by the team Lucky Bastards, who last session got into a fight with a demon and emerged victorious, though not unscathed. So in your last session, you had been fleeing the town of Lenmaw, knowing that, well, at least some of you knowing that the eyes of the devil were soon to be upon you. So you took out to the wilderness and eventually were contacted by Ivan's god Tilva that had you do some small favors for him, and by the end of the whole thing, Ivan was changed forever, given a blessing by this god, and Dudairn as well has been altered even further, turning into some sort of strange hero, a shadow of the man he once was, though perhaps better, perhaps worse on the other side. So, to bring you back to where we are now, three of you, everybody save Meneltirn, have fallen through and are found inside of this old temple. And Dudairn, you've just come back to consciousness after your previous fight. What do you guys want to do?
I'm going to slap a level 2 cure wounds on myself.
Probably not a bad idea.
I think it's a solid plan.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Wow.
Oh.
2 8s, holy crap. We're starting off with some fire today.
That's all right.
Yeah, it's okay.
I've seen better.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Ivan, did Tilda mention any other business in here other than crucifix?
No, but I would like to try and cleanse the temple now that I no longer have a giant demon to deal with.
I just shout down, "Do you see a way out? Out."
I point back at
Ouch.
Meneltirn.
Can I still see the ghosts?
Interesting. No, they have faded and left.
Darn, I was gonna ask them if they knew the way out.
Hey guys, where's the exit?
So casting light on my warhammer here and starting to walk around the chamber. What do we see?
Indeed. So, as you wander about, you notice that there are many statues which lay about. Dwarven soldiers encased in stone that are set up in these squares. So there's a row here, and then there's another row, and then another. And the only exit seems to be a broken staircase at the center of the room.
How broken?
Significantly.
Like really broken?
It looks like in order
Or
to
like
get from
Ivan
here...
could probably fix it with mending.
Yeah, the mending doesn't look like it's gonna work, because you can't do mending in like a 20-foot cube, but with some, with you know, some rope, it might be possible.
The one resource we don't have.
Oh,
Mhm.
nice.
Did we not have rope?
Dissolved
No.
by dissolved by a
What's
gelatinous
essential
cube.
utility item? We don't have any.
We used it all up in the dungeon.
Okay, let me just.
How much rope are on tents? There could be like
They're
some
on
rope.
tents.
You know.
I would say, like, you have a personal tent, right? Like, it's not like a giant military tent.
We have one 4-person tent.
One 4-person tent.
Mhm.
I'd say if you wanted to take that rope and use it up, you probably have maybe 20 feet worth.
Okay, and how deep is this hole? Like 10 feet?
You might be able to get this down there with 20 feet to the point where they can reach it. Because I think, if I remember from last campaign, it was maybe 30 feet of drop. So the first 10 there's nothing, but then 2d10s of damage. Or was it? Actually, no,
no, it was-
significantly more than that.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
you
sure it
rolled
was like
like
100 feet.
I think you rolled like 6d10.
Yeah, so it's unfortunate. It looks like you're not going to be able to get out if you're using just the rope from the tent. And the total distance between the highest point in this room being this broken stairwell and like maybe the lip up here. Let's see. Let's roll luck for you. I would put that at right about 50 feet.
Okay. So examining the bottom of this chamber, we just have the dwarven statues.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's empty.
Mhm.
I want to check for a secret passage.
Check for a secret passage. Roll
Always gotta
investigation.
check for a secret passage. Yeah, that's a solid 5.
Oh, nice. Okay. You take a moment wandering about
Jaren
and looking here and there.
has Claire the true sight. Cough, cough.
It doesn't
see
appear
secret-
that there's any secret exit here.
Damn it.
Okay. And the demon corpse had turned to dust, right?
Yes, it had fallen apart into ash and blown away in the wind.
Wind.
No.
Where was
Wind
the wind
says-
originating from? The hole?
It was like a divine wind that came sweeping down through the room.
So examining the hole that we kind of fell through here,
Mhm.
has part of the wall, like maybe like out here somewhere, like cracked to the point where maybe we could climb it?
Oh, interesting. Okay, so looking around, this hidden entrance you're hoping to find seems to be non-existent, but there is a crack in the wall. And in fact, the back left corner of this room, right around here, is in bad condition, leaving cracks throughout the wall that could be climbed.
So looking all the way up the wall, it'd probably be a bit dangerous, but it looks like it'd be climbable back to the surface.
Yes.
Okay. Before doing that, I'm going to suggest that to the party that maybe that's our best way out here, since we don't seem to have any rope. Cough, cough, why don't we have rope?
Am I confident enough with my left arm that I would be able to climb?
Yeah, you have one good arm, right?
Yeah.
You think that you could maybe climb to a point? The problem is that towards the top of the ceiling, the hole doesn't line up exactly with the wall, and that might be a little bit tricky.
Might be a bit of an issue.
Yes, I could probably climb out. Ivan, you might be able to. I'm not sure about Dude, though.
Just kind of like wiggle my arm a little bit.
It flails.
So after Ivan's looked for the for some sort of secret passage, could I take a lap around and look for the not so secret passage?
The not so secret passage. And by that, do you mean you're looking for something else, or you'd want to give it a try as well?
Give it a try as I'm walking around.
Sure, yeah, an investigation check.
Oh.
Whew.
Investigation. That's a 0. So just a 13.
Okay. You look around, and you too eventually come up empty-handed.
I would like to shout down the hole. Put 2 of them in the puzzle box and then climb up with that.
Good idea.
I walk away from the hole.
Thank you, wizard.
Magic. One of us, Ivan. Do you have the box?
I do.
Right. Well, you two get in.
Okay. Before I do, I just want to take, I guess, another lap illusion. Just verify the statues look dwarven. Like everything, like here, just kind of like jives as dwarven.
Indeed, they are clearly dwarven, and so is
Okay.
the rest of the temple in its make.
And do I get the impression that they're like a symbol of like a grave, or like what is the significance of these statues? Or do I not get really anything out of that?
Roll a religion check.
Oh man, I can make one of those now.
I'm gonna go ahead and get in the cube.
Religion. A11.
Okay. So do you have proficiency?
I do.
Okay. You are fairly certain, though not 100%, but fairly certain that this temple was made as a commemoration for an old dwarven army, likely one that fell in battle.
Okay. And likely this chamber was place of memorial for them.
Indeed.
Without.
You don't know if their grave, like if their remains are somewhere here, but it seems like that was the purpose that was laid out for it.
Okay. And based on what I had seen on the surface, does it seem like this was a temple or church built on top of the memorial, or is the entire like complex a memorial?
It seems like the whole thing.
While they're climbing up the hole, just kind of like walking around here in this area, being mindful of the shit area. What can I see up here now that we're not exactly under any kind of duress?
As you look around inside of the temple, you're trying to see any details you might have missed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so as you take a gander, indeed this temple has been ravaged by the demons that once inhabited it, and there are claw marks over stone, and murals that have been defaced, all the like. As you look around, you don't find anything like compartments or anything like that. The archways here that are open seem to leave the temple almost open to the air, like there's no real entry that's barred, and you don't really find any containers laying about.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything that I can gather, just like information-wise, from like any of the murals or like artwork that's semi like intact?
As you look around, you can see that the murals are made of like a bunch of very simple lines that have dwarven soldiers that are kind of like laid along them.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see here. Most of it has been defaced to the point where you can't really gather any more info, unfortunately. You get occasional glimpses to these soldiers all set up in a line, and then the rest of it is just like chunks of rock that have been smashed off of the wall.
Right. Okay.
With my new eyes inside the puzzle box, is anything different? Other than not being able to see, like, the vast expanse of ocean?
As you come back towards this main room, there is the large altar to RX and the shaft that descends from the glass chamber down into the ocean. However, you don't see anything different. There doesn't appear to be any like invisible entities that are either inside or outside of the room.
Alright. I'm gonna spend a little bit of the climb weight on trying to get used to my new eyes.
Okay. So Zai, are you gonna throw them both in the puzzle box here and then travel upwards?
Yes, that is the plan.
Make a athletics check for me.
Alright, so I'll just walk over to the edge, turn around, give a little bow as I have to say sorry for having disturbed you. And then I do a terrible, terrible 4.
Okay, let's see here. Alright. You get about halfway up the wall when the handhold that you've got breaks and the rock crumbles in your hand, and you struggle to try and grab on and not fall down. You're already about 20 feet up. Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Oh no.
No!
Oh no.
I hope this box can't break.
Okay. How much is fall damage reduced by your monk abilities?
I don't. That's at level 4.
That's not to level 4. Okay. Let's see here. From the fall itself, you take 10 damage, and then from a piece of rock that falls off afterwards, you take an additional 6.
Oh, I'm down.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Metal Tyr, while you're looking around, you hear what sounds like somebody climbing up the side of the wall, and then and suddenly something falls, and there's a loud clatter, and then nothing.
I look down.
You can see what looks like Zai laying down, probably right about here on the side of the wall,
Mm-hmm.
and he looks completely unconscious. And both Dudarin and Ivan are nowhere to be found.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't look dead though.
No, he's just laying there on the ground, and you can see what looks like a large piece of rock nearby his corpse.
I just shake my head. I'm just like, good talk.
An honorable way to go.
Well, shit. What do I do?
That's a good question.
I've no way to get down.
Okay. So while you puzzle about what to do, Zai, I'd like you to make a death saving throw, please.
Not a 1. Please, not a 1.
Okay, so that's one pass.
Mm-hmm. I mean, let me just look through my inventory. Is there anything that I have? I don't have any climbing equipment. I don't have
Throw a band-aid at me.
throw a man. I throw a band-aid, it hits him in the head, he loses.
He gets a
More-
failed
more
death
health.
save.
Nothing in a scholar's pack is gonna help me. Okay. I there God damn it. There wasn't any like rope or anything in here, right?
No, there isn't.
No, nothing. And how far down do the stairs go before they like
50
disappear? The stairs go down 50 feet.
Like, no, sorry, the total fall, if you were to go from here to try and land on the top of these broken steps, is 50 feet.
Okay. That would kill me. Are there any particularly, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, are there any rocks that I could use as, say, pittons?
Rocks that you could use as pittons.
Yeah.
No.
No.
You could try and climb with your bare hands to try and get down the wall and get down there, but obviously it looks like quite a perilous climb.
Right.
So go ahead and make an intelligence saving throw for me. Or just an intelligence check, actually.
Sure. $14.
14. Okay. So you are thinking as fast as you can to try and come up with something to do here, and if you had rolled poorly on that, I would have another death saving throw be made by Zai, but you're running through your head as fast as you can on what to do here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, I got you. I understand.
Yeah.
This is just so unfortunate.
The everyone jumped down a hole technique was really, really good.
You're telling me.
I mean, it was great up until we had to get out of the hole.
Yeah, that's the trick, right?
The technique killed a demon. I mean,
You're technically not wrong. Shit. This is just garbage. I mean,
Chad has it right.
what is Chad saying? You let
We're
him
gonna-
die?
We're just gonna casually TPK.
Jump. Okay, how difficult would I surmise it to be for myself to climb down the hole?
It looks like it's doable, and there's definitely handholds that can be used to get down there, but the structure of the rock wall is most certainly falling apart, and age and demonic possession has not been kind to this temple. What's your strength score?
My strength is an 8.
Okay.
My dex is a 14.
Alright. Given your past life of being a studying scholar, looking at this and just thinking about what it is that you have laid out in front of you, a perilous 50 to 60 foot rock climb down, it looks fairly difficult. But as you're standing up there, you can see that Zai is not in good shape.
Mm-hmm. How it okay, then last question before I do this possibly the stupidest thing I may ever do. Would I think that climbing down, would I get there fast enough to help him?
Oh, interesting. Make a medicine check. And do you have proficiency in medicine?
I do not. 13.
13 with no proficiency. Let's roll luck. It's a 10 or higher. Okay. You think that you might be able to get there in time. If Zai is severely concussed, then your ability to go down there and stabilize him might be the difference between life and death, and you think you could do it, but obviously it's going to be a perilous climb.
So, pacing frantically, thinking about what to do, I just go, if I die, Zygataka, I'm coming back to haunt you. And I begin climbing down.
Okay. Go ahead and make for me an athletics check, please.
Right. That's a 16.
Okay. You manage to make it. You curve around the top of the wall here and start to make your way down the side proper now. So you're probably on the proper lip here, but you still have another 40 feet to go. And Zai, I need a death saving throw from you. Ooh. What is that?
That's a fail.
Let's see here. 7. Okay. Another athletics check, please, Metal Tyrant.
I know this isn't gonna end well. Oh, God. 3.
Okay. As you're climbing there, your grip slips, and you begin to slide a little bit down. You're currently holding onto a crack that's in the wall, and both your feet and your hands are now like slipping across it a little bit as you start to go down. What do you want to do? You still have like a 40-foot drop beneath you as you're sliding here on the wall.
Do I see any handholds or anything more sturdy to grab onto?
Yeah, you could maybe change position. There's another crack nearby.
Okay, I'll do that.
Sure. Make for me a dexterity saving throw.
18.
Okay. You leap out and manage to grab onto a different area and watch as the area where you were sliding suddenly collapses, leaving like half of its stone wall falling off the facade there and landing on the ground nearby.
All lands on Zai and he dies.
Make for me another athletics check.
Oh, thank God, 17.
Okay. You now only have another 10 feet left to go, and you're pretty close down to the ground. And Zai, I need you to go ahead and make for me another death saving throw.
Fast.
Okay, another pass. Meneltirn, you're finally able to hop off and go and run to Zai. Make your medicine check. Oh my fuck.
You poison him.
Okay. You run over to help out Zai, and as you do, you step on a rock nearby, slipping and falling to the ground instead. Your pack kind of like falls off of the side of your arm here, and your items splay out over the ground. Zai, make another death saving throw, please. Okay. Alright. As you go to collect your things and turn towards Zai, you can see, amidst all of your items which have splayed over the ground, that he seems to be stable. And now that you're up close to him, you can tell that he's doing alright.
I just go. Well, like you sorted that out yourself. Guess I'll sit here and wait until you wake up.
Okay.
I sit down
Alright.
and take a. How long does it take to wake up?
It could take any amount of time from 1 to 4 hours.
1 to 4 hours, right? All right.
So,
Okay,
J-
I'll actually, in that case, can I begin like a trance? And if I didn't finish it, would it count as a short rest?
yeah, you can certainly try. If it
Okay.
takes like the full 4 hours, then you'll.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll do that.
So, let's see here. Everybody who's inside of the puzzle box here, you notice that some time has gone by, and the two of you have been waiting here for maybe like 5-10 minutes now, and nothing has happened. What do you want to do?
After about 20 minutes pass, I'm done waiting and I'm gonna attempt to go back.
Okay. How about you do, Darren?
I'd probably do the same. Make sure some new demon didn't show up.
Okay. So, you two exit out of the puzzle box, solving it once again, and find yourselves near Meneltirn and Zai. And you can see that Zai is like laying down on the ground here, completely passed out, and Meneltirn looks exhausted, just sitting there, trying to get his breath back.
What happened?
I'm
He
rushing over to
fell.
Zai to see if he's alive.
He is.
He looks like he's okay, just unconscious.
I'll throw a cure wounds at him.
Okay.
It's 10.
Zai, you wake up with 10 HP.
Oh,
Oh,
I
what
suppose it
happened?
gone in for you, but
Why are you guys out of the box?
you fell and got hit by a rock, and I had to climb down to help you. Luckily, you did not die.
I see
and
that.
Here we are.
Well, now what do we do?
Well,
Looking around this chamber illusion, it's like the opposite corner over here. Does that look fairly stable?
It does, and it looks like the majority of the damage to the temple, apart from its staircase, of course, was sustained over here in the left corner.
Well, what do you all say we camp out down here for the night? We're all fairly injured, I think. Could probably use a rest before we try to climb out.
I think that
I'm not attempting it until I get some rest, that's for sure.
may be a good idea.
Does anyone have a blanket? My clothes kind of got godded away.
Got it.
We got 10.
That will work.
Okay. So the group huddles over in the stable corner of the temple, and all of you are going to set up the tent and get a long rest. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the plan.
Okay. Let's see. The evening goes by without interruption, and everybody is fairly exhausted from the previous night's events. However, howling winds can be heard coming up from the hole up in the ceiling on the other side of the temple here, and you know that things outside must be fairly dire. Everybody gets a long rest, and you do wake up next day, but it seems that the weather outside is doing very, very poorly.
Well, at least we were down here.
Indeed. You can see that snow like piles up over here in the corner.
Ivan, did your god happen to say what she wanted after we did this task?
No, just clearing out the demon.
Well, do we try to get back out of here and, I guess, head back northwest the way we were going?
Once we get out, I will likely be able to see if the guiding star has returned. it has, we can follow that. But otherwise, yes, northwest sounds agreeable to me.
So I'm getting curious here, Lucian. If I walk around, do I see any signs of like the demons like inhabiting this area, or like signs of, like how they got in? Since I'm assuming Crucifix would have had a hard time coming down the staircase.
Ah. So you're trying to find evidence of the demons having been here previous and how they did it.
Right. I mean,
Okay.
like the impression I got was Crucifix was fairly large, and that staircase wouldn't have really fit him.
So
Like, how to
go
get
ahead and make
down
for
there.
me, let's see, what have you proficiency in?
Proficiency
For
in
your intelligence
history,
skills.
religion, insight, medicine.
Okay.
So,
Make a second investigation check.
As a dwarf, you also have proficiency with like stone stuff.
This
it's
is
also
true.
true. It's an 11 for investigation.
Okay. So, as you look around, you find that there's definitely evidence that demons were here. There are scratch marks and broken objects, things that have clearly been disturbed and moved out of their place or scattered and smashed on the ground. However, the problem of how the creatures got in here remains a mystery, and you're not certain if the stairway was perhaps something that was broken by Crucifix, or if it was something that he broke himself, or how he got into this room, or into, just the temple in general.
So are we gonna try to climb back out of here?
That's
Hey.
our only option.
Middleturn, you don't have any fancy magic spells to help us get out of here, do you?
Unfortunately, I do not. Had I had magic left previous, I would have had something to help us get down, but unfortunately, no. Nothing to get up and out.
We could always try the box idea again. Perhaps I won't fall this time.
Perhaps.
All adventurers dream of dying, starving in a hole because they didn't bring rope.
We won't starve.
Aleutian, how likely do I think that Ivan could get out if he like took his time, just like literally taking as long as was needed to try and get to the top?
You definitely think you're physically capable of doing so, and it doesn't look like an insurmountable climb, but you can see lots of evidence over there as the rays of light kind of like leak in, that the wall is not sturdy at all and has fallen apart, and it's not so much your own ability you would have to worry for, but rather the fact that the temple is crumbling, and so to try and climb these broken veins of stone could lead to them falling apart, and that would give you difficulty.
Okay. Do I think that I could use mending to essentially stabilize footholds as I go? Like if I see like a broken piece of wall, like essentially use mending to turn it back into one piece and then use it as like a solid handhold.
Perhaps, yeah.
Hey, Lucian, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Coming over to the broken stairwell, this doesn't look like it goes down any further, does it?
Oh, go ahead and make an investigation check.
There we go.
That's a, I think that's a natural 20.
As you look over here and investigate the stairwell, you notice something, that the stairs end at the top of this slightly raised platform, but that it looks like the landing that they end up on is a false bottom, and you see a seam that looks different than the rest of the stone here.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond that, as you look around, you see that the stairwell, it ends with these two ornate knobs that are at the top of like the ends of the stairs railing.
Mm.
And you see one of them looks different than the other in that it has a seam that is slightly larger than the other. A new detail that you would have missed otherwise.
I go and try and pull on it.
Okay. It's incredibly sturdy, and you go to try and pull on it. It doesn't seem to want to budge at first.
Does it doesn't hinge or anything?
No.
Does it unscrew?
Oh. As you go to turn it, it clicks and moves to the point where it's now shaped from like a square to like a diamond configuration here. And with a satisfying click, you watch as the floor underneath at the bottom of the stairs slides out, revealing that the steps go further down into the rock.
I found this.
Everybody hears the stone like sliding upon itself.
Oh, well,
Quickly
forget
rushing over,
climbing.
just looking dumbfounded at what happened.
How long were you all down here and you didn't notice anything?
I hit my head on a rock.
The best excuse.
I've got new eyes.
Well, I
Ivan
think
is no
with a new
excuse.
path ahead of us, we could perhaps take a look and see what's further beyond.
Let's go.
Okay.
I'll cheerfully start heading down the staircase.
Ivan,
Alright.
could you just cast light on him? Actually, wait a minute. Darren, you don't need that anymore, do you?
No, but after a while, I can't see anything.
Huh. Okay. Well, I think maybe it best then that we not draw any attention to ourselves. And we can continue without the light. 'Cause we all have dark vision, right?
Yes, we should be fine without it.
So as you travel down the stairwell here, your one and only human companion has new vision that seems to make need of a torch not so great anymore. And as you begin to turn the corners and go down the stairs, you can see that there is no lighting whatsoever. There's no torch sconces, nothing of that sort. And that the stairwell goes down just for a little bit before ending. It goes down roughly about maybe another 10 feet into the earth before it stops and leads you to what looks to be a very large and very sturdy wooden and metal door.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that above it, it says the crypt, although written in Dwarvish. So a few of you will understand this, but not everybody.
Right. So, Ivan.
Yes.
Well, you know the most about your people, I would assume. Should we continue? Gesturing to the writing.
Yeah.
Also, I would like to make a religion check, kind of gather whether or not they should be disturbed, I guess would be the way to put it.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
interesting.
also trying to, I guess, figure out would it be appropriate to investigate the crypts.
Ah, okay.
Right.
Sure. Both of you make your religion checks.
A 13.
13, okay. And you both have
Proficiency.
proficiency. Perfect.
You do there? Do you know what
That's
that says up there?
It says the crypt.
Crypt.
So I heard.
I walk up and grab the door.
Nope. Zai.
I'm grabbing his arm, pulling him back.
Okay, so there was a
Dwarf.
13 and a
10.
And
10. Okay,
Dwarfs love traps.
you know.
If we are going to continue, not like that.
I like crypts.
Please continue, Lucian.
You know that there is there's something to be said for not disturbing the dead, and that the dwarves, humans, elves, they all have a very similar outlook on this. Granted, it's not a crime to wander through a cemetery, so depending on what you find on the other side of this door, you should be well within your rights, being respectful of the graves or whatever it is that you might find beyond.
Okay. And I look to Ivan and I say, I think it's okay if we continue, granted if we are peaceful about it.
Yes, let's go inside, but don't touch
anything.
anything. Looking at the entire party, but staring an uncomfortably long amount of time at Zakataka.
Oh no, I would
wasn't
never
even
touch
looking at
anything.
Dudan.
I've never
was
seen
only
a
looking
dwarven
inside.
crypt before.
I say, move aside, and I'd like to investigate the door for
For traps?
traps.
Please.
Ivan, I'm very interested in how your people keep their dead.
That's I think that's it's high. 16 plus. I forget about proficiency. No, just 3, so 19.
Make for me an Arcana check, which I assume you have proficiency for.
I might have proficiency in that. I'm not entirely sure.
What are wizards good for these days?
That's also a 19.
19. Okay. As you look over and check for traps, you give the handle a look, give the sides of the door a look. It doesn't seem that there is anything, and then that's when you chance upon it what looks like very faint markings of some sort of powder or chalk that's been placed around the doorway, and you recognize this as being a magical sigil. Some sort of magic has been stored here on this door. And worse yet, it looks like it indeed might be a trap. Not the kind to shoot out darts or anything, but some sort of magical energy has been locked here. Investigating that, you're not able to discern exactly what the nature of the trap is, but it does seem that who opens the door will determine to some degree whether or not the trap is triggered.
Okay. I just I ask everybody to step back for a moment. I'm gonna try to discern the magic, and I'd like to ritual cast detect magic.
Oh, okay. Does everybody wait 15 minutes?
10 minutes, I thought.
Oh, is it 10?
15? I'll double check, but
Either way,
Go.
okay.
I think
Well, we
it's
can
10.
say it's 10 until
a
we
while.
know otherwise.
I don't see any apparitions.
I mean, how long does a
You're right.
ritual take to cast?
It should be 10 minutes.
I believe it's 10 minutes.
It has a duration of 10 minutes and it has a cast time of 1 action, but that's if you're.
Right, ritual cast
Casting.
adds 10 minutes to the cast time.
There we go.
Okay, so 10 minutes. This time goes by, and to answer your question, Dudarin, you don't see anything as far as invisible entities moving about. And when the spell finally finishes, Meneltirin, you can feel that there's definitely an evocation magic that is attached to this door.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You're not sure exactly what it is, but
Right.
you know the school at the very least.
Mm-hmm. I look to Ivan and I say, Ivan, I think it may be best if you open the door. Being one of their kin.
Alright. I will attempt to very, very respectfully open the door.
Okay. So you make your way over and go to open the door. And as you place your handle on it, your hand on the handle, you turn, and the door opens just fine, revealing inside what looks to be a fairly extensive and ornate room with urns that line all the way around all of the walls. There must be maybe almost 100 urns that are laying on these walls, and at the center of the room there appears to be 2 raised graves. So there's these 2 large stone sarcophagus like crypts that are, graves that are kind of next to one another here.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing is square shaped, much like everything else that the dwarves like to make.
I have a question.
Kind of
So-
like
What's her name?
That.
So Tilva was one of the gods who was a great soul, who then became a god, right?
Yes.
What is known about her life prior to goddom?
Oh. Tilva's life prior to goddom. Do you have proficiency in religion?
I do.
Okay, go ahead and roll that.
That's a 21.
21. Okay. So, as you go and ponder what exactly it was that Tilva's story was, you recall how it's not exactly well known, and it's said that Tilva was a dwarf that ended up leading a great brigade before her death, and there's a lot of rumor that she was a commander of some sort. But the exact actions of her life leading up to her godhood are of debate.
Right.
And what you'll hear is that scholars aren't entirely sure what to assign to fact and what to assign to fiction. Her character seems to be the same across all of them, however, and she was incredibly brash, but had the skill and power to back it up.
Right. I kind of go up behind Ivan and put my hand on his shoulder, and I say, Ivan, if I may, just let me observe something. I just want to check both of these sarcophagi for any kind of names or, anything that would distinguish who's buried there.
I'll check. You all wait.
I'm in there with you at this
No,
point.
no, like I'm still in the doorway, like
I say,
in
Ivan,
front of the door.
Ivan, please. You have to trust me at some point.
No, he doesn't.
I don't have to trust you.
Darren Zagataka, do you mind waiting out here while Military and I go in?
I'd rather not wait outside.
I can see ghosts. That might help.
Fine, but touch nothing. This is a hall where the dead are buried. Be respectful.
I would never.
Who does this guy think we are, Dudan?
First interaction with you, you're carrying around dead, undead Dogfoot.
Undead dogs aren't sacred.
Okay, so you guys are gonna go in and investigate. Give me 2 seconds, I'll be right back.
Immediately touches everything.
Meneltern and Ivan are looking over the
Opens her and
sarcophagus,
sticks a hand in.
being very respectful. Meanwhile, Zai has his hand in an urn. What's this? Just wanted to see.
There we go. Apologies, my nose is killing me.
Not a problem.
Are we all still here?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So stepping inside, everybody is now here in this main room, right?
Correct.
Okay. Meneltern, the first thing that you're looking for is labels, some writing perhaps. And you can read Dwarvish, right?
Correct.
Okay. So you see that these two main graves here appear to be named, but the urns don't have names. It simply says soldier on each of the urns.
Right.
Dwarven that kind of circles around the center of the urn.
I'm not
However,
particularly concerned with the lay folk.
The lay folk, okay. However, the two graves here at the center do appear to be named, and one of them is Corvir, the Wayfarer, and the other one is Crucifix, the Betrayer.
Those are the two names on the sarcophagi.
Yes.
What was the not crucifix, but the other one?
Corvir. I can spell that for you here in TeamSpeak if you'd like.
Please do.
There we go. Now,
Are dwarven names gendered?
generally, yes.
Corvier.
Corvir and Crucifix both are male names, although,
Okay.
Let's see here. There are sometimes interchange, but most of the time with dwarves, their names are gendered.
Mm-hmm.
Darren, as you look around, you see something. What looks like almost a movement that comes from the coffin of this crucifix here at the center of the room. And you see what looks like the occasional spectral hand that attempts to kind of like grace past the top of the sarcophagi and then disappears back into it.
Guys,
Mhm.
I think Crucifix is trying to get out.
Excuse me?
You know, the whole seeing ghost thing.
Mm.
I'd like to cast Detect Evil and Good.
Detect evil and good.
Uh-huh.
And that'll let you see, or rather detect what?
Aberration, Celestial, Elemental, Fey, Fiend, or Undead. Within 30 feet.
Interesting. Okay. There's definitely an undead that you can feel from the center here towards the sarcophagi that's been pointed out by Dudarin.
Which one?
So to label that, it'll be the one on the left. This one here.
Okay, the one marked Crucifix.
Yeah.
Okay, and also part of that spell, do I know if the area had been magically consecrated or desecrated?
Oh. Desecrated, most certainly. Chat says, no touchy-feely ghost hands, please.
I mean, as long as we make pottery together, it's fine.
Thursday's group got molested by ghosts. That was fun.
Okay, now is it just that coffin or is it the entire area?
It feels like the area itself has been desecrated.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh,
Would
well-
Ivan know what to do about that?
Ah, interesting. Yes, without need for roll, given your past life, you would know that sometimes areas can be horribly tainted and brought to a state of unholiness, which lingers and stays. And likewise, the opposite can be true of areas as well. You know that this kind of magic can be reversed by somebody who has the blessings of a very high-level cleric, or perhaps paladin as well. It definitely has to be a servant of a good god if you wanted to reverse it. That being said, I don't believe that you are powerful enough to do that. Let me check. 2 seconds here. No. Okay. So, the power that you would require to restore this place back to the way that it was, it's not one that you possess, unfortunately.
Okay. So knowing that, would it be appropriate to open this coffin and deal with the undead being inside, knowing that this area has already been desecrated? Like, I'm assuming Ivan would be aware of some kind of procedure to deal with an area that's been been tainted in some way.
Interesting. You think that if the area has been tainted and that this is indeed the cause, or perhaps the source, that dealing with it would not be a disrespectful act on the crypt. But that's only if that does indeed turn out to be true.
Okay, so if whatever is inside this sarcophagus coffin is the source, it would be appropriate to deal with it, but I don't know that for certain. Do I get any sense from the Detect Evil and Good whether the spirit, like, it's an undead, you said?
Yes, there's definitely an undead creature in here, and you can sense that it must be like a zombie or a ghost or something like that, which is trapped to this area.
Okay, and knowing that, is it appropriate to, like, if it's a zombie, just like kill it? If it's a ghost, can I like free its spirit somehow, or?
If you think that it would be appropriate to do so. This is a grave, after all, and any sort of like necromancy and beings that are not dead would definitely be wrong to have here.
I look over to Ivan and I say, Ivan, who did your god want us to expel from this temple?
The demon that was called the Crucifix.
Did we ever get confirmation that the demon above was named Crucifix?
Table talk. I can't recall. I can't recall if he said I am Crucifix via me, or like if we just kind of assumed.
I think I called him Crucifix, but I don't think he confirmed.
Yeah, he was short for talk. He did not say his own name.
He didn't seem like
Yeah.
a chatty kind of demon.
More of like an angry, thrashy type.
Mm-hmm. I go, Ivan, perhaps, although yes, there was a demon above who we have dealt with, perhaps this is what your god intended us to find.
You may be right.
Again, like I promised you, I will not touch anything. How you wish to deal with this, I will leave up to you.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And now I'm kind of thinking, I guess. Given that the area is desecrated and there's some kind of an undead being within this sarcophagus, it would be completely within reason to open it up and deal with whatever's inside.
You think so? Yeah, as long as it's indeed there's something unholy happening here, then it wouldn't
Well, I
be...
mean, I assume that any undead being would be considered unholy for the most part, or at the very least worthy of investigation.
Yes.
Oh, my detect magic, does it pick anything up off the sarcophagus, like any kind of warding magic on that?
Indeed. You can feel that there is a powerful presence of abjuration stuck on
Okay.
this area.
Abjuration is what school again?
School of Abjuration.
Yeah. I'm just trying to remember what it does.
I think thaumaturgy is abjuration.
Abjuration blocks, banishes, or protects. So, seems about right.
You certainly have a strange predicament in front of you here.
I say we open it up.
Jared, do you see anything else happening?
God, do I see anything else happening?
Looking around the rest of the room, no, not. It seems like everything here is rather still, much as it should be, save for this one sarcophagus at the center of the room.
No,
Were those
just that.
demons speaking Abyssal before?
Mm-hmm. That's what demons speak. Demons
Hey.
speak abyssal, and devils speak infernal.
Darren, watch the coffin for a second, would you?
Hashtag not.
Will do.
And I'm just gonna kneel down beside it, and
Uh-oh.
in Abyssal, I'm just gonna say, "Wake up," and see if it does anything.
Tell it to wake up in a vessel. go ahead and make for me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh Lord. You made something mad.
That would be 14.
14? Okay. So you tell this to wake up, and coming back towards you in incomprehensible language, which then starts to fall apart into something that you can understand, into abyssal. You hear what sounds like something that shouts, just like horrible screams come out, and hanging on the end of it, you hear the word no that comes out as well. And for a brief moment, it's like there's a distortion on your vision, almost like you're about to lose sight of the sarcophagus in front of you, and instead you see what looks like a vision of your own self, like you're staring in a mirror, and then a crack runs along it and then breaks, and then suddenly you can see the sarcophagus in front of you again.
I'm
Do
gonna step
I-
back, startled.
Do I see anything weird when he does
Does
that?
he bump into an urn?
You see what looks like a leg, a ghostly leg that thrashes and momentarily like steps out beyond the confines of this sarcophagus before falling back and kind of getting pulled back into its confines again.
Yeah, he's. Don't do that again.
Yes, I don't know what's going on here, but something strange happened. I heard a voice that had a bunch of strange language, then it said no, and then I'll explain to them the image that I saw.
Do I think anything of the image that Zagatar described have any like religious significance?
Does it have any magical significance?
You think that there could be perhaps a metaphor or a clue locked in it. Maybe an idea of what's happening here, but it doesn't seem to be something of religious significance that you can recall, especially given your nature as somebody who's from some other world.
Apart from the names on the sarcophagi, what else is depicted on them? Because usually sarcophagi are like ornate and kind of stuff like that, and I would imagine dwarves would make like very ornate stone sarcophagi.
You can see that on top of them there are depictions of the two people inside, and carved out you can see what looks to be a man in plate mail for Corvir, and on the other side what looks to be a dwarf in wizard robes instead of the plate mail, as in one hand looks to be a fairly large and tall staff. He has in his other hand a book that's kind of like clutched to his chest. As far as armaments go for the other one, you see an incredibly large greatsword that's on Corvir's back there.
Right. So, Ivan, how shall we proceed?
I'm not certain. Whatever's inside does not belong, but
Well, it does speak abyssal. Whatever
What
that's
magics
worth.
do you have against undead and demons and the like?
but I'm not certain if that is the path to take. But it almost appears like this is a prison for it. To open up the prison would be to undo the work that was.
It would appear so. The magic on the sarcophagus would hint towards that, but it just leaves so many questions. Why bury someone with you who you consider a betrayer? Why would your god send us here to do away with a crucifix, and then here we find a crucifix?
Perhaps Ivan, the people that put him here in the first, or whatever this is in the first place, it looks like they're long since left. Perhaps Silva sent you here to destroy this thing before what's left of this magical bond fades away.
It is trying to get out. I see it.
I can see his legs.
And his hands.
Do we? I'm trying to remember, Illusion. Silva had told me that it was a demon. The
Yes.
crucifix, right?
Yes.
Okay, and querying Dudarin here, do the limbs that were poking out look demonic or dwarven?
Oh,
I mean, whatever it is speaks abyssal.
it
Well, I mean, you
definitely
speak
looked.
obviously not a demon.
It definitely looked dwarven to you, Darren.
I'm not trying to be demon racist, but yes.
Yeah, they.
Or at the very least, you have dealings with demons.
Could have been a mage who like summons demons or anything something like that. I don't get any sense of a demon from inside the crypt, just undead.
Just undead. Just undead.
Hmm.
I kind of sit next to the crypt doing something so much what Zagataka did, and in Dwarven, I ask, "Who are you?"
As you call out, you hear a voice that responds back to you, and the voice says, "Set me free." It's clearly in Dwarven. And it sounds like it's under pained and labored breath that this voice comes from beyond sarcophagi.
I repeat my question: Who are you?
Please.
Can we all of us hear this, or just Ivan?
It's like it's a faint whisper emanating from this location where Ivan kneels down by that. But as you listen closely, you can hear the words that come out as well. The room is very still and quiet, and so it's easy for this to kind of permeate its way throughout the room.
In Dwarven, I say, why did they trap you here?
You hear what sounds like a bunch of demonic murmurings that come out, and those of you who speak Abyssal, and I think it's only Zai that speaks Abyssal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Zai, you hear, "I'll kill you." And suddenly the top of the sarcophagus kind of like bumps for a second, like it shuffles almost a little bit.
Oh, well, I
This thing
suppose
wants
I
to kill
shouldn't-
us.
I suppose I shouldn't speak with him. He doesn't seem very keen on that.
You're speaking to it in Dwarvish, you say?
We are.
Whatever
Perhaps-
I'm speaking to is talking in Abyssal. I'm not sure if it's the same or perhaps separate creatures.
Depicted on the sarcophagus is a mage. There's no reason he couldn't speak both.
Perhaps the mage is the evil creature.
Distrust of wizards. Everyone looks over at Meneltyrn for a minute.
I look to Ivan and
Wizards
say,
that speak Abyssal.
I don't speak Abyssal.
I swear.
I look to Ivan. Perhaps you could ask it the question I did and see if that provokes an answer. I think it best if I not say anything to it.
I'll ask the question. Why are you here?
Let's see. In Dwarven, a voice calls out and says, "Please, please."
Well, what if? What
No,
if
we
he's-
don't hear anything when we don't ask it questions, right? It's not like constantly saying this.
Yes, it only comes when you seem to try and interact with it.
What
I don't
if
like that.
he's
It's not answering my questions.
trapped by the demon?
what was the exact wording of the mission Silva gave you, Ivan?
The exact wording, I believe, was that we must destroy the demon crucifix who was inhabiting this temple.
Darren, the thrashing of this like spectral dwarf here locked in the sarcophagus ceases, and you no longer see its limbs occasionally pushing past the stone.
Do I see anything else happen that isn't dwarf looking?
No.
Stop moving.
In Abyssal, I'm just gonna say, are you still in there, Mr. Demon?
There's no
Mr.
response.
Mr. Demon.
Mr.
I-
Demon.
I think we've vanquished it.
It's important to be polite.
I wouldn't be so quick to say so.
So, shall we open it, or are we going to leave it?
Don't open it.
I think we should open it.
Ivan, your god makes no sense.
I'm gonna roll my eyes at Zagataka.
Your religion is wrong. I go up to Ivan and I say, Ivan, this is... It's only really a half-baked theory at this point, so I didn't want to exactly disclose it, but perhaps you could aid me in getting a little more confirmation. Would you be able to tell how old the stonework here is?
I believe I might have an idea.
So
I
you
guess, yeah.
roll your stone history?
I'll roll my stone history.
Please do.
Wow.
Plus what, 5 I think, right?
Yeah, so that's an 8.
What did you get?
An
I
8.
rolled a 3, so that's only an 8.
Oh god. You're not sure. You would guess, at the very least, a few hundred years old, but it could be much older than that.
I'm just gonna tell Darren to watch the box, and I'm gonna go whisper to it again. And in Abyssal, I'm gonna say, I've come to release you, Crucifix.
Okay, there's no response that
listening.
comes from it.
Nothing, eh?
I look, after getting that response from Ivan, I'll say, well then I have no real confirmation of this, but it is well known that Tilva was a risen god. She was a great soul, but she was mortal at one point. And though the way she died is mostly unknown, most histories point towards her leading a great army or brigade before her death. Now she is often depicted as... Aleutian. So she's depicted as a female. She's a goddess.
Yes.
Right. Would...
The elves believe that Tilva was elven, but they still depict her as being female as well.
Okay. Okay. I'll continuing on then. Although she's depicted as feminine, I believe that this place may be her resting place. There is no identification of this being a holy place, only of it being a crypt. Your god sent us here saying it was an extremely important holy place for her. I Although there is no confirmation for that, I think it's something to consider. Is there any way you could commune with your god to get any sort of answers from her?
I don't know what you speak of immortals becoming gods, but perhaps this was a group of her followers that became a
No,
temple.
Ivan. The great souls are souls destined for something much more impressive in life, and before the gods cursed them, they were free to roam the earth, and there are some that became gods after their passing. I'm telling you, I truly believe that this place has some sort of importance to her other than just being her followers. Do not know what world you come from, but it is known that there are those that became gods.
I don't understand what you're saying, but even if it is true, what does it matter right now?
Perhaps there's some kind of aid your god could lend us. That's what I'm saying.
Let's head up to the next room. I need to think about what to do next.
Fine.
Are you all going into the other room?
Just before we leave, quick glance around all the other urns. They all look identical, right?
Indeed.
Nothing that would point out to anything.
The only thing they have about them is some dwarven decoration and the word soldier, which has been written on them.
But like the same decoration, not individualized.
Yes, yeah, it's
Okay.
just they're all identical carbon
Okay.
copies.
Then when we get up to the other room, I'd just like to kind of look around at all the different statues while Ivan puzzles this.
Okay. Is anyone staying in the room, or is everybody gonna leave?
I kind of want to keep an eye on it.
I'll stick around with you, Darren.
Okay. So with that, Ivan and Meneltiern make their way back into the room. As you look about Meneltiern, and as Ivan, you kind of sit there and puzzle over things, the only thing that you find is that, indeed, much like the urns, the soldier statues here, they're all identical, and there's no difference between any of them, other than some damage that might have been done to one soldier versus another. Meanwhile, back in the crypt, the two of you wait here, and Dudarin, you stare at the sarcophagus from which there is no motion, and Zai, you sit here as well as you kind of stare at it. What do you guys want to do?
Touch stuff.
Touch stuff. Hey, Dudarin, you want to ruin everything?
I just kind of want to like keep looking around the room, see if I notice anything weird.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna be wandering around as well, looking as closely as I possibly can without touching stuff.
Alright. So, the two of you will stay down there observing, and the two of you will be up here pondering. What do you want to do?
I'm going to attempt to pray to Tilva, asking for guidance about what to do about the being trapped in the crypt below.
Okay. Go ahead and make for me a wisdom roll.
Just straight wisdom check,
Straight
or
wisdom check.
a 13.
Okay. Time passes, and you set up a little prayer here, but Tilva doesn't seem to answer. If anybody has anything they want to do during this time, please let me know.
I've probably touched the coffin sarcophagus at this point.
You're gonna touch it?
Not gonna open it, but just like run my hands along like the lid.
Oh God.
You know what? I would probably touch the empty one before anything, and then
The empty one.
yeah, I'd probably take a look at the empty one before I started touching
Corvair.
the full one.
Oh, neither of them are empty. I mean, they both
Right.
Oh, no,
have.
One
Okay,
of them
they
has
both
a
do.
restless spirit. One of them has likely a dwarf corpse.
Okay, fine, I'll touch it.
I'm kind of debating opening.
I'm not opening it. I just want to like touch the lid.
You touch the lid, and as you do, nothing seems to happen. The stone feels quite cold. Dudairn, as you look over there and stare, you see that as Zai goes over and touches the sarcophagus, it looks like a couple of chains rise up to the top. There's 4 of them, and they all meet at what looks to be an incredibly strong and powerful lock that sits atop it. Zai doesn't seem to notice this at all.
Hey, Zai,
Yes, Darren.
do that again.
You mean this? And I'll lower my hand onto the sarcophagus again.
As you touch the sarcophagus, once again, this set of chains and the lock at their center reappears atop the grave. It's whenever he takes his hand off of it that the chains start to disappear once again, and the lock as well. The whole thing just becomes nothing.
I'm- Gonna come up and put my hand on it.
Okay. You go over and place your hand on it, and as you do, let's see here. Make me a wisdom saving throw, please.
It's a 5.
5. Okay.
Big old 5.
Big old 5. Wait. You take 12 points of damage, Dudairn. As you reach down, you feel your mind grappling and interacting with some sort of magic that you don't properly understand. And suddenly, a pang of pain runs through your head as though a long 2-hour headache has been compressed into 3 seconds and just suddenly hits you with all of its force and might. However, right as that subsides, you hear the sound of a click and watch as the chains dismantle away from this lock, which opens up, and all of it
What?
sort of disappears.
Darren, what did you just do?
You would hear this click, and you would see that Dudairn looks like he's in pain, Zai.
I unlocked it.
Is it moving?
You should go get them.
We run out
Okay.
and yell for everybody.
You run for the stairs and start to make your way up the steps. You guys can hear, up here in the higher end of the room, as Zai is frantically making his way up. And Dudairn, as you stare at the sarcophagus, you can see the stone at its top here, this large slab, begins to rumble, and it shakes and begins to move off to the side, as though the whole thing is going to open soon.
I try and keep it shut.
Oh,
God.
okay. Go ahead and
You
make
guys,
a
it was
strength
Dudairn.
check.
It was all Darren. I didn't touch anything, but you need to come quickly.
Make an athletics check, please, Dudairn.
Okay, I'm good at those.
Oh,
That's
not
good.
today you are.
That's a 7.
Oh, fuck. Okay. No. No. The stone is quite heavy, and the force which moves it is much beyond your abilities, and as you go to stand over there and keep it, you see as a spectral hand reaches up and pushes against the other side and begins to push against you, and you're helpless to its strength as it begins to fall off to the side. Zai, you're now at the top here. And you've come out running, and the two of you have heard Zai in his muffled voice as he makes his way up the stairs going, "It wasn't me!"
I'm immediately just like running back into the crypt.
As
I'll be running after him.
As the spectral hand starts pushing, I just start yelling down or up the stairs that we've got a problem.
Okay. It's this
And I'll-
voice that comes out and says that we have a problem before suddenly you hear an incredibly loud sound of stone smashing on the ground. Dude, Aaron, in front of you, the top of the sarcophagus has fallen off the side, and you can see into it now. There's some sort of spectral figure. It's humanoid, dwarven, but there's something wrong with it. It looks like it's got a face that has been contorted into what looks like mangled flesh that hangs off of a skull ever so barely, and center to its chest there is a book which is stuck there. And as this spectral being kind of makes its way out of the sarcophagus, you see as it sort of like takes a kneel for a moment and then steps up triumphantly, but left down in its bed there is still a corpse which lays there. There's one solid element of this spectral dwarf, and this is the book at the center of its chest. And I'd like everyone to please roll initiative.
Before we as he popped out, can I jump back and rest my hand on my axe?
Sure.
How much do we get to see running back down the stairs here before we kind of get into combat?
2 seconds. Is that oh, I got a 50. There we go. So you guys were back there and it started running. What were your let's see, what were your initiative rolls, Metaltear and Ivan? Oh.
Yeah.
I got a 14.
Okay. So, Zai, you're at the top of the stairs, and Metaltear makes it with you, and you guys get back down into the room here. Ivan, you're lagging behind. Your short dwarven legs can only carry you so far. You're at the top of the stairs here, so you have 10 feet down, and then you'll be where they are. So as far as what you can see down there, you don't see anything yet, because you're lagging at the back of the group,
Okay.
though you hear there's clearly a commotion. And first in here, Zai, you've made it back down to see what looks like some sort of spectral dwarf with an old tome that is currently hanging in him. Like it's right in his chest, much like a rock that floats through a gelatinous cube or something. It brings back fond memories.
I don't want to go near him yet. I'm gonna throw my throwing stars at him.
Please do.
There you go.
22.
22. Okay. You throw out these stars, and you're throwing 2 of them, right? Or is it just 1 right now?
That's just one.
Okay, roll damage.
For 4 damage.
The star flies out and goes straight through his body, hitting the wall behind. And I'm gonna roll luck for you. Okay. You strike a shelf of stone instead of smashing one of the urns behind.
Oh, thank God.
And your little ninja star here falls down to the ground.
Okay, I'm just gonna step over here for now and wait and see what happens. That'll be it for me.
Okay. You're up, Metaltear.
Okay, just getting onto the other side of the door, just leaving room for Ivan to get through. What I'd like to do is use magic missile, level 1. Can I aim it at the book?
Can you aim it at the book? You certainly can.
Okay. Either to damage it or to push it out of him.
Okay. Go ahead and roll the damage.
That's 3 of these.
You were grabbing d20s, and I was like, oh my god. Can you imagine
Yeah.
a magic missile did d20s of damage? Whew.
I think it does that at level 4 or something.
Spicy meatball. 133.
6, 7 plus 3, 10 damage.
10 damage. Okay.
And would that be an Arcana roll to aim for the book, or?
Given how far you are and how it's all in the same point, I would say that you're probably fine to do that.
Okay.
The magic missile leaves your hand. These darts of force travel in like a relatively straight path, straight for this book, and as each one hits, you can hear what sounds like a demonic scream that comes from it. And
From the book or from the...
that comes from the
Apparition.
book.
Okay.
After that, is that your turn?
I'll look both Zai and Judair, and I'll say, don't throw anything anymore and hit the book.
Grip my
That's
staff
it.
tightly and nod at him.
Okay.
And then I'll actually go ahead and just kind of move back over here. Just like that.
Okay. Mentaltyr. The creature turns over in your direction. It completely ignores Dudairn and Zai, and you watch as the book's cover opens up from within this spectral dwarf and starts flipping through pages until it lands on one that seems incredibly intriguing, and I want you to go ahead and make for me, let's see here, a charisma saving throw.
Is this book recognizable at all? Out of curiosity. I didn't want to do that. That's 11 plus 2, 13.
13. Okay. The book for a brief moment shows you what looks like a magical secret, so tempting that you can't look away, and suddenly you take control over yourself, and you realize that it's attempting to charm you and poison your mind. It's at that moment where you turn away that the creature then lashes out in anger. Stepping off of here, it swings at you, Dudairn. And
Aren't you glad we didn't leave, guys?
Dudairn, does a 21 hit?
I don't think so, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, it does?
Okay.
Surprising.
Dudairn, you take 13 points of damage,
Whew.
and
Oh,
you
it's
have
close.
sickness until the creature starts its turn.
What does that mean?
So sickness is fun. It is...
Die
Oh, let's see
automatically.
here. Oh, do I not have that on the list here?
I'm looking through,
Sorry, poisoned. You have disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks.
Noise.
After that, it's your turn.
Well, it's immediately second wind because I'm at 1 HP.
We got a full rest.
No, that... Yeah, this is after that.
You have 14 health?
Well, I took 12 from opening the cup.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
Remember what Sai was saying? He touched it. It was him.
Okay, so that's 11 back. That's good.
Do it.
Okay, an 11. Strong. Okay.
He can only just do a little bit more than that, in one attack.
Don't remind
Okay.
me.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is.
Well, let's aim for the book with my axe.
Okay.
And roll 2 really high numbers.
Well, I mean,
A
you got
3?
half of what you wanted.
A 3.
Oh,
would
no,
be
you have
high.
disadvantage. That's
Yeah,
right.
that's 7, so that'll miss.
Okay, you swing and miss. Your axe goes too far, and you're unable to control it as well as you'd like. Smashing into the stone sarcophagus nearby, it lets out a loud clang.
Oh, let's just
Meanwhile,
act and
Ivan
surge.
hears us desecrating a dwarven crypt as he's running down the stairs.
That'd be great if he's like chugging down the stairs and you just hear like pots like breaking.
I'm gonna go ahead and act and surge because this is probably the worst thing.
Ugh.
Are you
God
kidding
damn.
me?
I mean, hey, that's disadvantage for you.
My god.
Fucked all your rolls.
Okay. So you miss a second time. Is that your turn?
Unfortunately.
Ivan, you're up.
Okay, I'm gonna make my way down. What do I see exactly when I like step into the doorway here?
It's a spectral dwarf, which is stepping around as though it can act, act with the ground and stone as though it is indeed the ground. Like it has weight to it, but it's see-through, and it has a sort of sickly, greenish, bluish hue to it, and the face of it is completely just like mangled and contorted, so it's like looking at like a horrible bag of flesh, which sort of just hangs limply off of a skull. And at the center of its chest, you can see what looks to be some sort of floating tome.
Okay, can I close the door behind me as I come through it?
Sure.
Okay, I close the door,
Okay.
cast Collude Divine Favor on myself, and swing at it.
Okay, go ahead and make that attack.
22.
Are you swinging at the book or the spectral figure?
I can clearly see that the book is the only solid part of this
Yes.
figure, right? Swing at the book.
The book, okay. So roll damage.
Okay, so I believe that's 1, 8 plus 2, so that's 7 physical,
Okay.
and an additional
Nice.
7 radiant.
7 radiant. Okay. You hear what sounds like a horrid demonic scream that comes out from it, and you can hear Zai in abyssal through this scream. It goes, "No!" And it turns over towards Ivan and looks like it's going to attempt to kill him.
The
that
book
your
doesn't
turn?
like you, Ivan.
Ivan has more HP than I do. I'm fine with this.
Zai, it's your turn.
Alright, well, I'm gonna just jump over here on top of this coffin and then try to whack that book.
I'm just gonna go ahead and casually stand on this dwarf's burial site.
I think we've desecrated this pretty thoroughly. I can go wherever I want.
14.
Oh god.
A 14 to hit the book. 14 unfortunately misses, and you swing. Instead, your quarterstaff goes through the creature and traverses through this spectral form, touching nothing.
Okay, well, I'll use 2 unarmed attacks with key point and try to hit it.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, it's a 21 and a 16.
21 and a 16. Both of those will hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
That is 9 damage.
9 damage. Okay. So you
And,
strike the book twice, leaving a bend in its cover. You're starting to thrash this book.
Yeah, and that'll be it for me.
Okay. After that, mental tears. What do you want to
Mental
do?
First thing I want to do is get a closer look at that book. I want to kind of get about this close, and I don't know, like what does this book look like?
It looks like a tome with a brown leather cover, now with a heavy
ding.
beading that's been placed upon it, and it looks
Okay.
like Ivan's strike to it has left like a charred line on its outside here, or a charred. Sorry, you're swinging with a hammer, like a circular sort of charred indent on it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna do another magic missile.
Sure.
That one didn't go. Oh, God. So all go in the thing. Had them all selected. So
2, 2,
3, 7 plus 3. That is a 10.
10. Okay. Your bolts fly out. The first one strikes, and you see that the cover is blown back for a moment. A bunch of pages in motion there as another one hits, and you see a bunch of the pages get torn off of it. And then another missile hits, and more pages are torn from it. And the book begins to quiver there, and so too does the spectral figure seem to almost lose shapeliness and form. It becomes less physical, and it staggers back, and then just falls down to the ground. And as this dwarf falls to the ground, you see he disappears into a poof of this sort of bluish greenish gas, and the book just falls to the ground here with a bunch of its pages laying around. You are no longer in combat.
I'd like to go up and not pick up the book and actually just kind of put my staff over it just to wave anybody else who is thinking of picking it up. And I say, Ivan, I think we found your demon.
And with that, we will go to a brief break.
Tell people not to touch things. I leave the room, immediately touches things.
It was Juderin.
Guys,
Hey,
I
how was
only
I
asked...
supposed to know that someone who was given life and new sight by some god would be able to unlock a magic thing?
Well, to be perfectly fair, you both touched it.
Mhm.
See, Zai touched it, and then Darren's like, well, if he's touching it, I might as well go touch it. And now you guys are down here, and like, it's only a matter of time before you guys start touching it.
Like, I mean...
The damage has been done now, we may as well.
The damage has been done. That's awesome.
Well, I have everything to do when we get back from break, so.
Cool, sounds good. Everyone will return in 5 to 10 minutes here.
Alright.
I'm back.
Nasty.
Uh-oh. What?
I remembered I have corn in the fridge, and I want to eat it.
Interesting.
Yes.
Corn.
It's like we're waiting on one or two people to get back.
I believe so.
I just had a
I'm
weird
here.
Hey, just had a weird dessert from Kazakhstan, and it's like someone took bread and combined it with like gum somehow and made it taste like almonds.
Bread gum almonds?
Yeah, and it looks like hair.
And
Like-
you ate this.
And it like all kind of like
Willingly.
bunched together and like yeah, it's weird. I don't know. It was good. I have no idea what the hell they're doing over there, but it was tasty.
Oh, evolution.
Yes.
Where do you want us to flop any kind of character stuff we might find? Like images for the stream.
Ah, you don't want to be the little cat?
I mean, I'm just
Oh.
thinking maybe something more representative.
Yeah, no, okay, that's fair. I would say to go into the folder where you guys leave your PDFs and everything, and just drop it in there, and just name it your character. And I
Okay.
will update it likely over the weekend, and you'll see proper images show up. So yeah, to everybody who,
I'll see what I can steal off the internet.
yeah, indeed, who can, go ahead and find an image that looks similar to your character, so we have something to represent them. Also, hi, Terminata. Or perhaps that A at the end is supposed to hang for longer.
Terminator.
Yeah, it's probably like that.
Yeah, you just gotta say it with a really thick Arnold Schwarzenegger accent.
But I don't know about that.
The Terminator.
There, I put dude errands.
Oh, sweet. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I remember last night and one messages and stuff.
mic's on. Are you back?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome possum. Are you guys ready to resume this this little mystery here?
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. Okay.
Well, we all know we're gonna die somehow.
It's a matter of how, not when.
Matter of how Evolution wants to do it, rather than if.
There we go. Okay. All of you are still in this lower crypt room. As far down as the staircase will take you, you are in a secret compartment below the main floor of the temple, surrounded by all of the urns, and it would seem souls of some of the people buried here. On the ground is a peculiar book. Meneltyrn has taken a step over it and placed his staff so as to block the rest of you from touching it. What do you do?
While they're looking at the book, I want to come to the other sarcophagus and
Start
Put my
touching
hand-
it.
put my hand on it and see if, like, chains and stuff appear.
Interesting. As you go and touch this one, you don't get that feeling. But there is something. There's something there. The stone feels warm, pleasant to the touch, in fact.
Guys?
Yes,
This-
dude.
This
Do we
coffin
look
is-
over and see him touching it?
Yes.
I look over my shoulder. Him. Stop touching things.
It's
I feel like that was the one thing we came in and said not to do.
it's warm.
That's the best. You put your staff over the book and you're like, no one touch it. And Dudarin just looks over at a different thing and just puts his fucking hand on it.
It doesn't feel bad like the other one. This
I'll touch it too.
Interesting. As you touch it,
Stop touching it!
it seems that Dudarin's claims are unfounded, and as your hand kind of, lands on this sarcophagus here, it feels like cold stone.
Dude, this just feels like regular stone to me.
I swear, it's warm. It's comforting.
Ivan, come and touch this.
Just ignoring them bickering back and forth about whether the stone is warm or cold and looking at the book. Is the book moving at all? Do I sense anything from it?
Roll insight.
I'm gonna touch the stone where Dude is touching it and
Yeah,
see if that.
It still feels cold there. Either Dudarin's experiencing something that you're not, or he's gone crazy.
Ooh, it's only a 9.
A 9. As you stare at this book, it gives you an uneasy feeling, but that's it. Sort of like a light pit in your stomach, almost. You've felt this before many times when facing down evil and the kind of mysteries that lurk behind cultists and strange factions that you've had to conquer. It's just that sense of not really knowing what's next.
Ivan, if you'll allow me, I would like to look over this book
I would rather just burn it.
with minimal touching. I believe that some sort of sacred or religious fire may be necessary, but although I do not think here would be the best place. Perhaps gathering up in a bag if we can. But if you would allow me just a moment.
I'd like to remind you that it looked as if the book was possessing the restless spirit.
Precisely, which is why I do not wish to touch the book, but glance over what is here.
I glance over my shoulder at the two guys arguing about touching the stone.
I can't be as
Don't
bad as them.
touch it. Just
That's
if you
so-
can understand what happened here.
it, and that's more or less. I want to see if I can glean any sort of information off the pages that are sprawled out, anything from the cover that is visible, anything that I can see without moving stuff around.
Right. So, the book is tattered and damaged and lays here on the stone floor, and next to it, a couple of its torn pages. Your magical missiles had managed to tear a few of them out, and they lay scattered about the room. And And so, as you stand here talking with Ivan, while your two companions argue over the temperature of a old piece of stone, you look around and see if any of the pages have any interesting info on them. It seems that there is writing on them, and it is writing that you do not understand. It seems clearly fiendish in nature. The way that the characters are written and the alphabet that they're in is
Right.
it's all wrong. It's all
Right.
like it almost exudes evil.
Right. Ivan, just watch him with me, if you will. Daigataka,
Yes, Minotaur.
if you're done poking at stone, I need you to do something for me very specific.
Darren, we'll come back to this.
When needed, I will still touching the coffin. I'll lean down and whisper in Dwarvish, "Corbier, are you there?"
Ah. There is no response as you call for it.
So, Zygataka,
Yes.
I need you to read these pages on the ground without
Oh, no, you want me to touch things,
No.
and I'm gonna grab one of the pages.
without touching them. Read without touching.
Do you grab one of the pages?
Can
Is
you manage?
is it dark in here?
It is, but you can all see, given that you all have dark vision, essentially.
Old man, I gotta pick this thing up. Yeah, I'll pick up a
No.
page.
I hit his hand with my staff as hard as I possibly can.
Okay.
Granted, that being weak.
Make an attack for me, please. A regular attack with your staff.
14.
A 14.
I don't think that hits.
Okay.
No.
So you swing down, but Zai is swift. I mean, his motions are fluid, and before you know it, he's got one of the pages in his hand. And as you take this page and look at it, Zai, you can see that it's clearly written in Abyssal, much like you would suspect. And are you going to read the words aloud?
No. Just kind of read over and get an idea of what what exactly is on this page.
Okay. The page seems to be a group of instructions. It looks like there are ingredients which are laid out here in a sort of list. And along with these, you see what looks like numerical symbols as well. So you see a clove of garlic, and then a number sequence. It goes like 12, 3, 7, 18. And then after that, you see 3 sparrow root. And then it goes on like that, and there's just a whole bunch of ingredients interspersed with these number codes almost.
I think it's a demonic cookbook. See here, these are ingredients. I'm not sure what these numbers here are for.
Okay, well, that's a start, but I want you to look at me for just a moment, Zai. What was the thing that I told you not to do?
Oh, I don't remember now.
Burying my face in my hand. If it's hard to read, we could have gotten myself or Ivan cast light on the area.
Suppose so, but this seemed to work out all right.
Quite. Being that Zai has been mostly unaffected by this, I just want to, with the butt of my staff, see if I can't, open the book.
Okay. You flip the book open, and you see what looks to be magical scribblings that details a spell. So magical writing is the kind that any wizard
Only
can
the
understand.
person who writes it. Really? Anybody can?
If you can decipher it. So when
Okay, right.
if someone gets a hold of your spell book, it might seem like gibberish to them, but in theory, anyone with magical knowledge can, over time, understand what it is that you've written.
Right.
And so scrolls work off of a similar concept, and you see what looks like a spell that's laid out here. Go ahead and roll Arcana for me.
Sure.
fuck me.
Why?
You're not sure what it is. You don't know, but there's clearly like a spell detailed here. It looks kind of like it might just be a normal spell book. There's no demonic anything, just a recipe for some spell that you would definitely need more studying time to understand.
Right. Did my detect magic wear off?
During all of this, you went up top and thought about some things, so I'd say probably, yeah, by now it would be gone. Because it took 20 minutes before Zai went to touch things.
Right. Before I went to touch things.
Yes.
I looked to Ivan. Ivan, do you sense any evil here anymore?
I will again cast Detect Evil and Good.
Okay. So as you cast Detect Evil and Good, this will let you know if there are fiends and things like that all about. Sense nothing. It seems whatever there was here has long since gone, and that fight may have killed whatever that undead presence was that you felt before.
Okay. Do I sense anything from the book?
No, you don't. But it does make you feel uneasy as you look at it.
Okay.
Not a
and
detection
do I
from the spell.
sense that the area has become any less desecrated?
Oh. It seems as though the area is much the same as it was.
Is that like coming from above him or in this room, or
No,
like
it's
how
coming
does that
from
work?
the room.
Okay.
I'm gonna start walking towards the book. And if they're not stopping me, I'm gonna pick it up.
If he reaches to pick it down, I'm gonna tell him to stop.
Okay.
The question then becomes, does Zai listen?
Well, I mean, when we were fighting it, I punched it a few times, and my hands didn't fall off. I think it's okay. If this is where this evil is coming from, you're gonna have to pick it up at some point eventually, Ivan.
No, we can just burn it. Break and be done with it.
Ivan,
You're gonna
A
burn this
moment.
book inside of the crypt? That doesn't sound like a good idea.
can't just burn everything.
Evil you can.
You're just not using enough fire.
No, Ivan, don't worry. Have faith in Tilva, and I'm gonna reach to pick up the book.
Okay. You grab the book. It is now in your hands. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna flip through it.
Okay.
See what's inside. If there's anything that catches my eye.
Dude, Aaron, what are you up to? Are you just watching these events as Zai is going through the book?
I'm still trying to get the any reaction from this coffin.
Okay. Yeah, you utter different words in Dwarvish and get nothing, unfortunately. By now, something else is going on with the group, and Zai is flipping through the pages of this book. And Zai, you can see, excuse me, that the majority of the book seems to be magical writing. And as you go through it, you see what looks like possible spells that have been written out and arcane incantations. And then eventually the book starts to transition from that and starts to become something else. You notice that in between the magical writing there's abyssal, like different lines of it, and it's once again ingredients with number sequences. Then eventually you find more and more of these. So at first they appear almost as though they are decorations in the margins on the book. And then you get to the point where there's a couple of lines in between the magical writing, and then eventually it's like a whole paragraph of it. And then it just goes on like that. Are you going to read through the whole thing?
I'll just kind of. I mean, I probably can't make much sense of the first parts of it.
Yeah,
of
you're
the,
like 10 pages in or something like that.
Does it say anywhere? Do I get an idea of who this belongs to or belonged to?
Oh. Yes. In fact, when you first open the cover, on the back of the hardcover here, on this sort of leathery page, you could see that it says the spell tome of Crucifix, Grand Magus.
Well, Meneltirn, this looks like it was the spell book of our friend Crucifix. Can't make much sense of the magical writing, but it slowly turns to abyssal. Seems like something must have corrupted him.
Hmm.
Gavin, perhaps this was what we were supposed to be in here for.
I'd like to look over the open sarcophagus.
Ah. In the sarcophagus, you see what looks to be the corpse of a long, decomposed dwarven man. There is no flesh left on him, save other than a couple of little bits of like skin which have been long dried and stretched out over different parts of his skeleton. And on one side of him, see what looks to be his sort of like dismembered arm, which has sort of fallen to his side, and it lays along his staff. And then his other hand seems to be over top of his chest, but it has a spot where there's a bunch of dust missing. You would assume the book was there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, I'm not looking to take the staff, but is this like a nice staff? Wondering.
Is it a nice staff?
In relation to the staff that I just got, is it nicer or worse?
Well, it's made of wood.
I'm not saying this out loud. There
This-
can't be any size yet.
The staff looks like a decrepit old piece of wood that has been laying in a crypt for a long, long time.
Okay.
In fact, towards its top, you can see it looks like it's almost like splitting, as though perhaps the change in temperature or humidity has caused the wood to crack and fall apart. It has
Okay.
nothing on it as far as like metal ornamentation or anything like that. It looks almost like just a staff, like a wooden stick that an old man would use as a walking stick, or a druid might use to cast spells, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I want to look back to Zai and say, so what exactly does it say that you can understand?
Well, as I said, I can only really understand the abyssal.
But as far as specifics,
If I'm looking at like the first little bits, and then I guess when it turns like purely to abyssal, what kind of stuff's it saying in there?
You see one line, it says, "A pint of elf's blood." And then next up comes a bunch of number sequences, and after that, stone hemmed from an iron quarry, and a bunch of sequences after that, and it just goes on. Some of the objects that it lists are mundane, like things you could maybe find in a modern, someone's kitchen or a tavern, and others are just strange. Like they reference things that you don't even know if they exist or not, if they're perhaps like beasts of legend.
Well, Meneltirn, it just seems to be lists of ingredients over and over. I don't know what for. I'm sure if you were willing to take the book with us for a bit, you could perhaps try to decipher what he may have been doing before whatever took his mind appeared.
perhaps. It's all very puzzling.
I'm sure Tilva would be wanting to know how something could corrupt such a seemingly powerful mage.
Indeed. I also wonder if this dwarf was a betrayer, if he was possessed by some demonic force, why his people would bury him here, let alone with the magic which took him, and not like Ivan so eloquently put it, burn it.
I'm surprised that Tilva didn't make mention of this. That it was just a
Indeed.
demon.
He was vague. Perhaps intentionally, perhaps not.
What do you say, Ivan? Are you
Hmm.
opposed to us bringing the book with us, for the time being at least?
No. This is the book. A mage who was corrupted by demons, and you want to bring it with you when it was quite clearly able to bring its master back to life. Possibly even summoning the demons that we had fought above. No, we should not bring this with us.
But think of what we could learn.
That's exactly what I'm afraid of.
Not fear knowledge, Ivan.
Afraid of you with a book of demon summoning.
There's nothing about demon summoning at all in this book, Ivan. As I said, it's just a list of ingredients.
It's evil. Or at the very least, it was held by an evil person.
But he was not always evil. What do you know of this
And-
crucifix?
I know that at the end, he seems to have been possessed by a devil, or a demon, or corrupted by one. The spellbook is the last remaining evidence of that.
Well, I'll leave it up to you two. Perhaps you can ask Tilva what she might think of this.
I say we take the book.
It appears the group is at an impasse.
Burn the book.
Who's currently holding the book?
Zai.
Zai has it. So, and
Bye.
he would
Please
probably
don't
be
look.
like in between you guys right here. There we go.
I'm gonna place it on the ground. Step back.
I'm gonna pick it up.
Okay. You have the book now, Minotaur. What do you want to do?
Um,
As a wizard, given time with this, you could potentially extract spells from it. It's
There
clear two
is-
people don't like that.
there is much information we could gather from this. Useful information to us.
You know how many have been corrupted by in their search for power. They fall into the dark path. No, you can keep that book with you and research it. Before long, you're speaking Abyssal and you don't recognize us. There's no reason for you to study something that's been corrupted by a demon.
I think you're overreacting quite a bit. Yes, perhaps the owner of this was corrupted at some point, but at least in the beginning there seems to be useful knowledge for me, spells that I could gather. Evidently it will turn to Abyssal at some point. That will be less useful to me as I do not speak it, but
Ivan, at the very least, are you not curious as to what could turn a follower of Tilva? Perhaps learn something so that it might not happen to yourself.
Yes, I would like to know, but it's not worth the risk. That book is a thing of evil and it should be destroyed, not studied. At the very least, we are not capable of ensuring that we do not ourselves become corrupted.
I do not know that that is entirely true.
And you don't know that it's false either.
That's no
Perhaps-
reason to completely forego something that could be useful.
Perhaps our friend with his newfound vision would be able to tell if any type of corruption was happening.
Matter, it's
Sure.
not worth. There's no reason to study a demonic book.
Not the entire book isn't demonic, it's a spell tome.
I'll tell of a mage who was corrupted by a demon. I don't see how you understand that.
I understand it perfectly, but if only you could understand, in the beginning there are things things of which I could possibly learn. The entire book cannot be evil. It's a book.
I disagree.
Aren't you busy touching a sarcophagus or something?
I can do both.
Well, Mr. Special Vision, what does this look like to you? And I just hold it up.
An evil book.
How can you so definitively say that?
Because attacking the book made the evil thing go away. Which means the book is evil.
Or perhaps that whatever evil presence was here has been expelled, especially considering no one here can detect it anymore.
Point is, we know it was linked to evil, and you don't know for certain if the book is evil or not. But you want to risk bringing it with you. Simply because you don't know.
Chat makes a good point. One person says it's only mild demon corruption, and another one mentions you could just burn Meneltyrn with the book.
That's not a bad idea.
Why does chat want to burn me alive?
I'm just
Imagine
gonna
if you
burn
were
the
a
book.
gnome.
If you happen to be holding it, I mean,
I see no reason why we cannot take the book and monitor it in case this presence returns.
no. We should destroy it and ensure it can never return.
How do we know?
There's an idea.
Some other group gets the box. You get a demonic book.
Yay!
Enjoy.
Congratulations. No.
No.
Destroy the book.
Put it down. It's over with.
I will do no such thing.
He's become corrupted by the book.
No, I haven't, Darren. I just see no sense in arguing with fools over things they do not understand.
I understand the book is evil.
How?
Because
Oh,
Because. What an excellent and astute explanation. I see no reason to destroy the book at this time.
If you become corrupted, you never will.
You have no reason or proof to assume that that will happen.
I just point at Crucifix's coffin.
Yes, a dead wizard, Dudarin. Very good.
That's my proof.
There is so much that this book could be.
Could be your death.
Perhaps, but I think it is worth the risk. The
I
knowledge
don't.
that is held within, it could aid us.
It could harm us.
You have,
It could bring about the deaths of many people.
or it could save us with spells that are useful.
Or it could turn us all into demons. Summon a demon when we sleep to kill us all. We don't know. All I know is that it's evil and must be destroyed.
Okay, Ivan, we don't sleep.
Thank you, Zai, again for that very intelligent explanation of how elves spend their nights.
Confidently give him a nod.
Nice, got him.
Fine. How about this? Take it to a vote.
Drop the book.
Destroy the book.
Okay, so that's 2 for the destroy the book side. Zygataka?
I see the advantages of keeping the book.
2 to 2.
God sent us here to destroy it.
No,
You have to
God
listen
sent
to
us
God.
here. God sent us here to a god, Tilva, sent us here to destroy Crucifix, and as far as we know, we have. I see no reason to destroy something that will help us.
Don't
It
know
won't.
if it will help you. You're hoping it's something that can help.
You don't know that it will harm me. You're hoping that it will.
We saw what it did to the last guy.
You... I feel like you just don't understand.
And I feel like you just don't understand. Why? Why do you want a book of spells? Because you want power. You know how many are corrupted in the search for power? Do you not see yourself becoming one of them?
It's not a search for power. It's a search for knowledge that could help us as a group, whatever this is, progress. It is more than a search for power, something that I do not believe you can understand, dwarf.
I'm gonna walk up to him, put my hand out. Give me the book. I'm not asking anymore.
I refuse to give it to you, and I put it in my bag.
Sacred Flame the bag. Do it.
But he has rations in there.
Are you currently wearing the bag or just holding your bag in your hand?
I would be wearing it, I would assume.
Okay. I'm gonna attempt to tackle Metal Tyrann, rip the bag off of him.
Okay.
Oh.
An athletics versus acrobatics check, please. If you're gonna try and not be grappled, of course.
Right, naturally.
As I assume your dex is better than your strength.
It is.
The 12.
Motherfucker.
Oh,
Am I-
4.
Am I able to snag a couple of the loose pages while this
Sure.
is going on?
Yeah, sure. You can add 3 pages of Crucifix's spellbook to your inventory.
Okay.
Ivan, you leap forward and you tackle Meneltir to the ground. He squirms trying to get out of your grasp, but you've got him. You're currently grappling him, and the two of you are laying down there in the crypt.
Okay. Can I attempt to reach inside of his bag and grab the book?
Sure. What do you want to do, Meneltir?
What is the process for stopping that?
Well, I mean, what would you do? And I'll tell you if it's a thing that could happen.
Would turning invisible hamper his ability to do so? Or because he's on me, would that not really matter?
Well, he would be reaching around, feeling for the backpack instead of actually seeing it, so it might make that more difficult.
I'm going to come over while they're rummaging on the floor and just take the book out of his pack.
Okay. So Dudarin steps over. Ivan reaches for the backpack.
I
What do you want to do?
turn myself invisible.
Okay. Suddenly,
Cool, I can still see you.
Meneltern becomes
True.
invisible to everyone, save for Dudarin.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, Ivan, I want you to go ahead and make for me a athletics check and make another acrobatics check, Meneltern, to try and resist him.
Five.
Okay.
God damn.
Meneltern is squirming about,
Uh-oh.
but your strength...
Wait a minute.
Oh.
Relic, what
Relic?
happened?
Oh.
Hello?
Oh, hi.
Can you hear me?
One of our...
Yep, I
yeah,
can hear
there
you.
he is back.
Oh,
Technical
that was
issues. Ivan, you reach over, and Meneltern's struggling is not enough to keep you from the book, and you're able to grab it and pull it from his pack. You now have this tome. It becomes non-invisible once you kind of reach for it. And Dudarin is nearby, looking like he's ready to help.
Okay. I just ignore Metal Tier and now walk away, place it on the ground, and start casting Sacred Flame on the book to try and burn it.
Can I run and grab it and run past him?
Sure. You could certainly try.
I'd certainly like to.
Okay.
Can I step in the way?
So the book can't exactly make a dexterity saving throw. But that isn't to say that Sacred Flame lands exactly where you want it to be. So go ahead and make for me an attack roll as though you are making like a ranged spell attack, Ivan.
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
That's neat.
Okay, you actually missed the book, and in all the commotion, you set a piece of the stone ground nearby alight with radiant flame, but the book is unscathed. And Meneltern, you run by to grab the book, yes?
Mm-hmm. Dudarin is trying to stop me.
Okay. So, acrobatics and athletics again, please, between Dudarin and Meneltern.
God damn it, again.
11.
5.
Okay, you rush
Wait,
for
no.
it.
Yeah, 5. I'm sorry.
Okay. But Dudarin, he can see you, even in your visible form, and he grabs a hold of you. You have now grappled him. Ivan, are you going for a second cast?
I
Yes.
shout, you fools, you have no idea what you're doing.
This is for the good of us all.
No, it's not, you moron.
Ivan, do it.
I'm continuously trying to burn the book.
A
here.
second attack, please. Are you going to struggle to get out, Meneltern?
Absolutely.
Okay, another roll of you versus Dudarin.
It's 18.
God, it's a 7.
That is a
7?
12.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a 7.
You try to get away, and you can't as you see the first divine flame strikes the book and burns a portion of the cover in the first few pages. It's still there, though, and you're unable to shake out of Dudarin's grasp. Ivan, the book is partially burned. Your work is definitely going along here, but it's going to need more fire.
Okay, I'm continuously casting it.
Okay, do that roll again, all three of you, please.
There we go. 17, 18,
Nat
19.
20.
I can't roll above a fucking 10, apparently.
I know.
So, that's a 13 for me.
But Ivan gets a 20, so as you triumphantly break free of Dudarin's arms and push him away from you, down comes this blindingly bright sacred flame that leaves nothing but a charred remains where the book was, and you fall to your knees nearby, going to grab the book, and being unable to, as it no longer exists.
You are a fool, dwarf. A fool.
Ignore him, go back to where the scattered pages are and start burning those as well.
They're not there.
As you turn to see the scattered pages, they're all gone.
I just look at Zygataka.
Zygataka is standing right where they were.
Well,
Paper coming out of my pants.
he's roughly in that area. Zai, could you get ahead and make a deception check for me, please?
Negative charisma. Let's do this. Oh! Why?
Zai looks like a child who has just stolen from the cookie jar. It's plain on his face as you look over at him that he has the pages. Both of you would see this.
Zai, please put the pages on the ground.
Okay, I'll just sigh and
If he takes them, if he starts taking them out, I'd like to grab them and run out the door.
Can I just take 2 of them out and drop them, and hope that I've satisfied their paper bloodlust?
Okay. You pull out 2 pages, and Minotaur, you make a dash for these 2 pages. So everybody please roll an initiative check out of you 3, not Zai though.
Ah, no. Where's the flick button? There we go.
Ooh.
God, this die has to go away.
Reroll that, please.
Yep, I was gonna say. Well, 12.
13.
Okay. Ivan, you're the swiftest to act here. And are you trying to grab the pages or flame them while they're still in Zai's hand?
I thought he dropped them.
Oh, okay. So, you go ahead and manage to cast your spell before anyone else gets to act. Go ahead and roll again to see if you hit them.
The 15.
Minotaur, your arm reaches out to grab these pages, and blinding light takes them from you again as they go up in flames. Zai, I'd like you to roll another deception check, please.
Well, can't get any worse. Oh shit, 7.
The 2 of you think he didn't give all of them up.
I'll take a few steps closer to Zai. Zai?
Yes,
They're
dude.
evil. Hand them over.
I fear that we're all going to regret this and perhaps be our death, but here. I'll hand them the last page.
I'll try to grab it again.
Okay. Everybody,
Well-
please make your rolls.
All
Well,
the
actually, no,
rolls-
just do Darren and Minotaur. Because they're being handed over there.
Are you kidding me? What the shit?
I think I go first.
I think you got it. You snatched the page right before, like, Darren, your hand is going over, and then just at lightning speed, Minotaur nabs the very last page of this book. What do you want to do?
Out the door, up the stairs, and I'll just sit in a corner. I just essentially want to get to some place where I'll be less disturbed, just so I can see what's on this page. If it looks like mostly abyssal, I'll probably just hand it to Ivan. If it looks like arcane writing, I will tuck it away.
Interesting. Okay,
I'm
well,
gonna
I suppose
take
we'll
that
do that
one.
roll first then. Let's see here.
I just want this die to be deleted.
You quickly snatch
Put
the
it over in
page,
its own corner.
and as you look at it, you see that it is mostly abyssal.
I just let it go. And just sigh heavily.
Okay. Ivan, are you burning this one as well?
Oh yeah.
With a final flame, you set alight the last page of this contemptible text, and it goes up in flames. As it finishes burning, you can feel from your spell that the faint evil that rests on this place has been lifted.
Wonderful. Okay, I'll head over here. Was the cover on the coffin destroyed or just moved?
No, it has simply fallen to its side.
Okay,
It's not
I'll ask Darren to help me lift it up and put it back where it was.
I will do so.
Okay. A little bit of time, the 2 of you use your strength and place this back on top of the grave.
Now, Ivan, will you please come and touch the other coffin?
I'll be right back.
Oh.
God, what are they saying?
Quick, you shit wizard fake being possessed by the book. I don't understand why Chad has it out for you so hard.
No, now they're trying to help me apparently.
Backhanded compliment.
Exactly. It's like we'll help you a little bit. We're gonna hit you while you're down though.
There we go. Sorry about that. I must be coming down with something. This is killing me today. So, you finished burning the last page, and what was everybody getting up to?
Dude, Darren was asking me to put my hand on the coffin.
Oh.
Um,
Okay, are you going for it?
I'll walk over and just place a hand on it. Yeah.
Indeed, the stone feels warm to the touch.
See what I mean?
Me too.
If I touch it
like,
again, is
like
it still
wholly
cold?
warm or just like warm?
It just feels slightly warm, like it's a very sort of faint energy on it. And Zai, as you touch it, it feels cold.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's ice cold to Darren.
It's warm. Doesn't no, there's nothing answering me, but it's warm.
It.
Well, we head back up.
Is everyone
so-
going back up?
Suppose so.
I would have been heading up as soon as I dropped the last page, so I don't know where I'm at this
Okay.
point.
So you'd be off in this room somewhere, and the rest of you eventually make your way up here unless you're gonna stay down there.
Before I leave, I'm just gonna look around at all the urns and the coffins and just I'm sorry. I'm gonna head up.
Okay. You apologize to some possible ancestors and leave, heading upstairs. There you find Meneltirn, probably still in a bit of a flump.
No, you find nothing. I know. Yeah, I would have dropped the invisibility at this point.
Okay. Dude, Darren at the very least finds you.
Yeah, exactly.
So what do you guys want to do?
I'll just look up to the opening. I guess we should start climbing.
Yes, hopefully it goes better this time. Are we gonna try the same as before?
I'm just gonna try and climb up on his own.
I'm gonna get in the puzzle box.
From those attempting, I need athletics rolls, please.
Okay, and if possible, I want to try use mending to fix any of the broken wall to create a better handhold.
Okay.
I'm just gonna try not to fall. 15.
11.
Okay. And a second set of checks, please. Good.
17.
Yep. And...
Oh no.
oh, fuck.
Every time.
Why couldn't
Only
that be
when
the
climbing
first one?
walls.
You take a total of 27 damage as you fall down and smash into the ground a second time, Sai, being
I'm
crushed
down.
partially by a piece of stone.
Oh my god.
He had followed you most of the way, Ivan. You were just kind of getting to the top, about to climb over, when you heard the sound of stone sliding and now see Zai unconscious there on the ground.
Okay, I want to try and get back down to him if I can.
Sure, another check.
Well,
Well, okay, you make it back down to him. He's unconscious right now.
I will cast level 1 Cure Wounds on him.
Okay. Let's see how much he gets.
7.
Okay. You're back up, Zai. It happened again.
Oh, not again.
Maybe you should get in the puzzle box too.
Yeah, I'm getting in the box.
Okay. Ivan reclaims ownership of the box, and go ahead and make for me another set of 2 checks, please, Ivan.
Okay. First one. Oh, it's an 8.
An 8. Okay. And another.
9.
The mending helps, and you find a few times that the stone wall wants to give way, but you momentarily pause to cast the spell and turn what would be a perilous portion of the wall into a useful handhold. And eventually, you make it outside with all of your companions in the puzzle box.
Okay. Back on the surface, what do I see?
All around you, snow blows about in an incredible storm.
Like blizzard or just like snowy landscape?
Like almost a blizzard.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna start walking, I guess. What would it have been? Northwest? Sorry, where are we on the map here?
The red mark.
Yeah, northwest would be where we're going next.
We're in the snowstorm.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, do I recall like a forest or like, somewhere we can kind of like take cover when we eventually camp for the night?
You saw no such thing around here.
All plains.
All plains.
Heading northwest then.
Okay. Go ahead and make for me a Constitution saving throw.
I would probably say like after like 20-ish minutes, at least one of us is popping out, being like, "Are you okay? Are you alive?"
Okay.
Yeah, it's 13.
13. Alright, you travel for a bit. It's incredibly cold, and it's like it's gnawing at you, but you're able to muscle through it, and you go for about 20 minutes, leaving the temple behind you when Dudarin pops out in like space next to you. He just appears.
Okay, so you didn't fall and die. That's good.
No. Zai's fine, right?
Yeah.
He did well again.
He's fine.
Okay.
Also, and then the cold hits me.
Figure the rest of you could travel in the box while I start heading northwest.
Yeah, I'm for that. And just shivering, I solve the
Yeah.
puzzle box and go back.
You got winter clothes.
No, I kind of had that giant brand put on me.
Oh, right.
He's bare-chested right now.
Looks cool, though.
I'm definitely gonna do something with this look later, but
Stand out in a crowd. Okay, so is the group going to use the box to travel again?
I believe so.
it's worked once.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay in it for a while now because I had 2 big falls.
I'm gonna ask for someone's like coat when it's my turn.
So it takes you 2 days of travel across the wilderness before you eventually get towards a small town off in the northwest. Now, travel during the first day was rather rough, but soon the snowstorm began to subside, and you eventually pulled into this little settlement of Sove that you can see here on the map. Now, let's see here.
Do I get any message from Tilva during this time?
You do not.
We see anything from the stars while we're traveling?
That's an interesting one.
May I?
An intelligence check, please, while I blow my nose for the billionth time.
Need some Mucinex, man.
God, Lucian, you're not allowed to be sick. What the hell?
I know. I don't like it either. I don't like to call in for work, but I guess if I look
It's
gross, then I probably should, so.
10.
10. Okay. Your prophecy has not changed since the last time that you looked towards it, but in other respects it has. You see once again this figure atop a throne and the 3 people here. They're not reaching out towards anything though, they're merely standing there, almost like they're attentive at the ready.
Okay. Is the guiding star back? Or the direction star?
It is indeed, and it still points off in a similar direction.
Okay.
More west than north, but still over towards there.
Mm-hmm.
And, let's see here. There it is. So, City of Sov is not particularly large. It's a town with maybe about 4,000 people in it. And you can see, as you kind of approach it, what looks to be a large number of barns. Like there must be just farmland spread in every direction, but it's now been long covered by snow. And the center of this town is mostly just regular little like wooden buildings, some of which have wooden, some of them have thatched ones, that kind of thing. What do you guys want to do?
How many rations do we have left?
71 total.
71 total. Darren and the ration keeper.
So yeah, 2 days travel.
Mm-hmm. How long would the travel be? And Darren, are you doing the rations for everybody?
Yeah, that's what the total is.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. So, how long is it going to be to Vigny?
Huh.
I'm assuming people like ate every day, so.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe about 5 days, depending on the weather.
Okay.
Well, I'd say we get a nice warm bed tonight.
Yeah, what time of day is it right now?
Time of day.
I doubt such a small town will have a very bustling tavern, if at all.
It's early evening on the day that you pull into Sov.
Does it look
What
like they have a
sounds-
tavern?
They may. Let's see. So as you guys step into town, you look to see if you can find a tavern. And indeed, you do find one. Here's that on the outside of town, just sort of on the outskirts, there's a little gathering place from which, beyond its sort of expansive windows, there are people seated down at tables, eating and drinking and chit-chatting with one another, and a heavy plume of smoke rises from its large chimney.
That looks like a good place, so let's see if we can get a few rooms. Over.
Okay.
Group.
This little inn or tavern seems to be named the Farmer's Respite, and as you step inside, you can see why. The food appears to be very good, and the general ambiance is really quite warm. You can see that the majority of the people who are here look like they're common folk as well. And there are free tables and rooms near the back end here if you guys want to partake in any of those.
I'll look to get a room.
Okay. You're told that a room is 1 silver piece.
Okay, I pay it.
Okay. The food is 5 copper.
I'll pay for that in the morning for breakfast.
Yeah, I'll pay for a room as well.
Alright. Is everybody getting a room?
Yep.
Also going to be looking for a general store of some sort.
Yeah, definitely asking, because I need to redress myself.
Okay. You do find a general store, and let's see here. God damn it. I might cut the session early here, guys. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
That's alright.
Let's see here. We'll finish up a little bit of stuff in town and get you set up for next session. Son of a bitch. Okay. there is a little general store here, and it seems to be like a fairly large, almost like warehouse-like building, except that you notice that it has a large awning over it, which extends to a small place where horses are stabled.
I will stroll up to the counter.
Okay. So stepping inside, there's a little fire that burns. It's nice and warm. And a man looks over towards you and gives you a smile as you approach. He looks like he's maybe about middle age and has like the beginnings of a balding head here as his hairline begins to recede. And he leans on his table there, placing one arm on it and says, "It's not great weather out there. What can I get for you? Need a nice warm coat there?" And he kind of does like a little circular gesture towards your chest where a large brazen tattoo is clearly on display.
Yes, I've had a bit of an issue. Also armor if you have it, or know where I can get it.
I've got a couple of sets around here. What armor are you looking for?
Well, if I'm gonna get new armor, I might as well get an upgrade.
Okay. Wait, can you guys even afford an upgrade?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Well, I have 42 gold on me, so it's not gonna be much of an upgrade.
Okay. So with the amount that you have from 42 gold, it looks like your options are fairly limited. You could get a suit of leather armor or hide armor. The next closest thing is going for 50 gold. There's a set of ring mail.
So what did Duran have previously?
Leather.
Is there
Hide
enough
would
left
actually-
over that I could use mending to repair it?
Oh, no, it's pretty badly mangled. And a lot of
it's
it...
like just like burned away.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like you have, like, damaged pieces to repair. It's like there's parts missing.
I mean, hide is an upgrade for me.
Ooh, okay.
So, like, some hide armor and winter clothes.
Alright. Let's see here. So the hide armor costs you 20 gold. And as far as winter clothes go, that's another 5.
Does this guy have a rope?
Yes, he does.
How much?
The rope here doesn't appear to be terribly expensive. And for a coil of 50, it looks like it'll be... Oh, okay. A single gold piece.
I will buy 2.
Yeah, you have 100 feet of rope.
And just to check, I guess, in case it ever comes up, I essentially cut the rope in half, use 2 individual pieces of 50, and then later on use mending to combine it back to 100.
You certainly can. As long as those ends aren't further messed up, you can definitely recombine them.
Don't remember. Did those arm bucklers actually give me an AC buff?
Oh, the arm bucklers. No, but they prevent your already damaged arm from getting worse.
Okay, so like, yeah, it screwed my AC way up. That's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
I have an AC of 12 now.
Damn. Well, definitely something to work on. So you go ahead and spend some money at the general store here and get a set of armor. Not what you'd like, but given the tough times your group's fallen on, it'll have to do. Get some winter clothes so that you can survive the turns where you have to walk outside of the puzzle box. Ivan gets a rope that he very much wants. And everybody spends a silver piece getting a room over at the Farmer's Respite. And with that, I think we will end the session. So,
We
sorry
died.
about
I'm not
that.
going into holes anymore.
Oh, we got rope now, we're fine.
You got rope. All's well.
I passed.
Yeah, if there's one person that doesn't need rope, it's definitely Zai. Oh god.
Yo, let's get what we should do is get a whole bunch of like equipment, and we have a general store based out of the puzzle box.
There you go.
Mobile store. That's. I think.
It could be part of the gimmick, right? Like you have like a magical store and everything. Like people would, like, oh yeah, you have to go to a portal to buy stuff there. You know?
Like,
Yeah.
we need to get a portable like stall,
Okay.
and like with like a very like what is it? Like a curtain. Like whenever we need to get something, we just like draw the curtain, go into the puzzle box, bring it back out.
Yeah, there you go. Like an endless storage thing.
Mm-hmm. Makes it look like we have a giant bag of holding or something.
Okay. Sorry guys. Normally we'd run for longer. I'm not feeling particularly good, so I'm actually gonna kind of step away from this and go and dunk my head in some cold water. To all the players, I think you guys did great. Congratulations on not killing each other, but maybe the opposite of congratulations for losing a potentially super sweet book. Thanks to the audience for showing up. It's good to see a couple of new faces as well, and to all of our patrons, we couldn't run this if it weren't for you guys, so thank you for that. And we're going to talk some random stuff if you want to kick around, but otherwise maybe we'll catch you tomorrow evening. Adios.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Go. Oh goodness, I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm just
Very
not...
good.
No, I've been there, dude.
Yeah.
I've run sessions when I literally can't talk.
Yeah, it's not really great.
No.